Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the official City Council meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, January 19th, 2010. If you could all please rise and for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to make this meeting official, I ask Clerk Aaron Vanderwall to call the roll, please.
Gutenkopf. Here. Pezza. Here. Shea. Here. Leader. Here. Rose. Here. Bram. Here. Hipskin. Here. York. Here. Nybo. Here. Healy. Here. Morley. Here. Kennedy. Here. Mulliner. Here. Wagner. Here. 14 present, 0 absent.
14 present, 0 absent. We have an official quorum. Item number 3 on our agenda this evening is the award presentation and recognition for the Daniel Burnham Award for a comprehensive plan. As many people know, we have a comprehensive plan that is an excellent plan. We have Karen Stonehouse here, who is the, I believe, president of the Illinois Planning Ecologist. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or not, but association, along with Phil Hanegraaff from HNTB is our consulting firm that actually created the comprehensive plan. And in the audience tonight, we also have our distinguished commissioners who are on our planning and zoning board. And I would actually ask Ms. Karen Stonehouse, she's already come up to the podium. You've already done that. So if you could please be recognized and just know that this plan is so valuable, and this distinguished honor that we is being bestowed on you because of your group, I think is great for Elmhurst. We've got a plan of progress where we're going with economic development, and it's because of these folks here that have made that happen, and our commissioners, and I see Dan Warner in the audience, who's our head planner. So please, if you would. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here tonight. Again, my name's Karen Stonehouse. I'm the president of the Illinois chapter of the American Planning Association, and happy to be back here in Elmhurst. I did some work here maybe 7, 8 years ago with Turkla, Pettigrew, Allen, and Payne. And you've got a really lovely community. It's apparent, it's obvious that you've taken a lot of care to plan for it. The APA is an educational and not-for-profit organization that advocates for excellence in community planning. And we're about 45,000 people nationwide, and about 1,600 in Illinois. We're the 4th largest chapter. One of the things that we do to call attention to great plans and projects is we have an awards program. We had 37 submittals in 7 different categories this year, and actually I think that's a record number of submittals. And of course, Elmhurst, the comprehensive plan, has won the Daniel Burnham Award for a comprehensive plan, and that in 2009, when it was originally presented, it was a very hot year for Daniel Burnham. As you all know, 100 years since the Burnham and Bennett plan for the city of Chicago was created, beyond the city of Chicago, but it was called the Plan of Chicago. Anyway, if any of you were at the annual meeting that we had in the conference in September, there was a mobile workshop that came to Elmhurst, and the plan was featured as one of our top projects. I don't want to paraphrase this, but I do have a top 3 list that things that the jury really loved about the plan. So I'm going to read those to you really quickly. First, the jury felt the plan did a wonderful job of fully addressing the range of planning issues, including land use, transportation, economic development, among others. The plan also demonstrated a bold vision and fully appreciated the aspects that make Elmhurst a community with a high quality of life. Second, the plan was recognized for its use of sub-area planning, which allows the community to offer more specifics on select areas of the community, as you know. The use of HNTB's sketch plan builder was key to making these sub-areas relevant and effective. And finally, the jury was impressed with the substantial effort to receive public input throughout the course of this plan, and I know you had more than 30 public meetings and got input coming in different ways, and they felt that this really shows, how important it was to Elmhurst to draft a plan with strong citizen guidance. So I commend you on that. And I'm not sure who I'm presenting this to.
Coming up.
All right, come on down.
Actually, if I can invite our zoning commissioners up, Chairman Whistler and Commissioner Brinkmeyer. We have a former commissioner, Commissioner Ernst, if you'd like to come up. I know you've put a lot of work into this as well. All the commissioners that are in presence, please come up and accept this on behalf of the city of Elmhurst. Paul DeWitt, Commissioner DeWitt, please, if you would. This is a team effort and an effort that took long place before I became mayor, so I appreciate all the good things that you guys have done on this.
Absolutely. And it's my honor to present the 2009 Daniel Burnham Award for a comprehensive plan to the city in recognition of a plan that establishes a vision for the community through extensive community outreach and the use of innovative planning tools. Congratulations.
I'd like to invite Mr. Hanegraaff and also Chairman Whistler to speak on behalf of this fine award as well, too, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor DeCiani. Members of council, I want to extend an appreciation to Karen and to the Illinois chapter of the APA. Having served that organization for a number of years myself, I understand the level of effort it takes to run an organization, particularly an awards program like this, with a significant, sophisticated planning community in Illinois. Their work needs to be commended. They did an outstanding job. Not that we got an award, but they do every year. And in particular, I'm pleased and honored to have seen Elmhurst receive this award. In particular, having worked in this community for 20 years, I've had the benefit of understanding different perspectives within the community, both from a physical and organizational and policy context. The unique thing about Elmhurst is that it appreciates open, honest debate and dialogue. It likes to weigh, consider, and value choices. And you can't say that about every community. And in my experience, unoften like you, while you're often the subject of attack or criticism or involved in an issue that's very hard to resolve, in the end, this community aspires for solutions that work. And I think that's what makes a planner's dream come true, because that's what makes plans come true, is that the community is committed to the idea, they take ownership of the process and the plan, and that enables things to get implemented. It's also important to talk a lot about the role that the commission plays and in the decision-making process. And in Elmhurst, the Zoning and Planning Commission play a very, very important role. And that sends a significant message to volunteers within the community that if you choose to participate, you can implement change and be a part of a vision and an understanding of what your community can become. And you can't say that about a lot of communities. I'd like to make a special note regarding Chairman Whistler. Chairman Whistler is a rare individual. I've watched him over many years commit himself to this community with endless hours and time for the benefit of the planning process. His contributions are enormous, along with the council and the members of the commission. They've been a critical public venue to help people of Elmhurst keep talking and working together. And I think that's what creates a real sense of community here. As an outsider witnessing the operation of varying communities, that's very valuable, and you can't put a price on that because it's largely what enables you to become what you are today. No less productive in this process is the city staff. They've been very committed to planning. They've been very committed to this process. Their professional and technical excellence has allowed us to put together a plan and program with recommendations and policies that can get implemented, and they've been very helpful with us in that regard. So all these elements combined lend that the possibility of a plan is real, important, and a true compass in Elmhurst. And again, these efforts were all borne out as part of this plan. So thank you for allowing me to be part of the community through this process, and congratulations on the award. Elmhurst truly deserves it. Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen and ladies, and the team here and the staff, former council that made this happen as well as the current council that's going to use this plan to take Elmhurst forward. So thank you, everyone. And now, next on the agenda is another, this is actually a proclamation. Is there anybody here for the radon proclamation? Should I just read it from here? Okay. This proclamation was brought to my attention, actually the issue was brought to my attention by a local resident, Mr. Bill Trudeau, who brought awareness and raised the level of understanding to a serious issue, not only in Elmhurst, but throughout the country. It's an issue called radon. Ironically, I was telling Mr. Borchard, I had my house tested, and I had a high level of radon. So I recently remediated my own home, literally, a couple of weeks ago. So we had levels of 6, and the safety level is 4. So so you never know if it's in your own home or if it's in your neighbor's home. So with this level of awareness, I wanted to actually create a proclamation, an acknowledgement of official Radon Action Day. And I'm going to read this real quickly here. This is a proclamation on behalf of the City of Elmhurst. Whereas radon is a colorless, odorless, naturally occurring radioactive gas that threatens the health of our citizens. Whereas radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States and the #1 cause among non-smokers. And whereas 1 in 15 homes across the U.S. has an elevated radon level. Whereas any home in the City of Elmhurst may have, as mine, an elevated level of radon, even if other homes in the same neighborhoods do not. And whereas testing for radon is simple and inexpensive, and identified radon problems can be fixed. Whereas the City of Elmhurst and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency are supporting efforts to encourage Americans to test their homes for radon, mitigate elevated levels of radon, and build new homes with radon-resistant materials and features. And now, therefore, I, Peter P.D. Ciani III, Mayor of the City of Elmhurst, do hereby proclaim January 19, 2010 as official Radon Action Day in the City of Elmhurst. So this is a proclamation indicating that the city is definitely aware of this issue, that we stand by our local residents, and we appreciate Mr. Trudeau telling a very compelling story of his own wife who has lung cancer now because of the serious problem. And we encourage people to be aware of this. And whether you have a new home or an old home, this is an issue that could be an issue in either home. So if you have an older home, I had a neighbor, when he found out my house had radon, he said, "Should I get a test?" I said, "Absolutely." You know, they're only a couple $100 to test. You could even buy a kit at the local Ace Hardware, and you could send in your kit for the testing. And the remediation cost, I just had that done, it was about $1,200. So, but when you value what the cost of, God forbid, a situation like Mr. Trudeau's wife's is, it's a priceless situation. So, all righty. Now we go on to our item number 5, and our prayers are with Mrs. Trudeau, and hopefully she recovers. Now, item number 5 is receipt and written communications and petitions from the public. At this time, I would ask if there is anybody with any written communications or petitions at this time, please stand up and present those to our clerk, Aaron Vanderwall. Anybody at this time? Okay, seeing none, I will now go on to our public forum section of this meeting, where anyone has time to speak about Elmhurst issues. You'd have 3 minutes. If I will call on you, and you would have 3 minutes from the time you would state your name and address. We'll give you 3 minutes to talk about any Elmhurst issue. And at this time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in our public forum? This gentleman here to my left. You can grab the microphone there. Please state your name, your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes. I'll give you about a 15-second warning, too, in case you go over. Thanks.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Daniel Cusack, C-U-S-A-C-K, and I live at 0 South 579 Kirk in West Yorkfield. I'm here to speak to you tonight about the Elmhurst Memorial Hospital development in my neighborhood. Based on the reports in the news, it would be natural for you to believe that the development is going smoothly and that all is acceptable with the residents. I am here to tell you differently. Since December 1st, there have been 2 meetings of the West Yorkfield residents, both of which had very high attendance. At the second of these meetings on January 13th, 2 of the DuPage County Board District 2 members and one of your colleagues, Mr. Morley, were present. Many residents expressed their concerns as well as their frustrations in dealing with the hospital. I speak only for myself, but I believe it is fair to say that there are a lot of unhappy residents. I am unhappy that the hospital has not complied with their previous assurances that they would make every effort to minimize the negative effects of the development in our neighborhood. There are far too many examples of that not being the case, but this is not the time or the place for me to detail them here. But the traffic plans for Harvard and Lexington Streets, the lack of adequate landscape separations, and the size and location of the energy center must be pointed out as major problems. As a neighborhood, we continue to try to reach adequate solutions to many issues with the hospital. However, due to the limitations imposed by designs of previously completed aspects of the project, many of us remain skeptical of what can be achieved. Currently, Elmhurst Memorial Hospital has an application for annexation of additional properties in our neighborhood before the Elmhurst Planning and Zoning Commission. When this matter comes before you for final approval, I ask that you consider the concerns and issues that the Yorkfield residents have had with the hospital over the last 3 years. As a neighborhood, we would welcome the opportunity to meet with you to present these concerns. Please try to imagine how you would feel if it was your home and your neighborhood that was in peril, and then take the necessary steps to ensure that the hospital lives up to their promises that they have stated in these meetings repeatedly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cusick. And is there anyone else for public forum at this time? Anyone else? If you please indicate by raising your hand. All righty. I will now officially end the public forum portion of this meeting and go on to item number 7, which is our consent agenda. And I would ask the council at this time if there is anybody that would like to raise a question or possibly vote no on any of the items on the consent agenda. If you would like to remove anything, please indicate it to me as we speak. Anybody would like to remove anything from the consent agenda? Okay. Alderman Rose.
Item G.
Item G. Anyone else? Hearing none. I would ask for a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, less item G. Alderman Healy. Alderman Hipskin. And I'd ask Clerk Vanderwall to call the roll, please.
Healy.
Aye.
Hipskin.
Aye.
Gutenkopf.
Aye.
Pezza.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Leader.
Aye.
Rose.
Aye.
Bram.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Nybo.
Aye.
Morley.
Aye.
Kennedy.
Aye.
Mulliner.
Aye.
Wagner.
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. The consent agenda is passed in its entirety, less item number G. And at this time, I'd ask Clerk Vanderwall to read the item G report, and then I'll ask for a motion and a second on that item, please.
It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Works and Buildings Committee that the appropriate city agent be authorized to sign the intergovernmental agreement amendment for the work as outlined above.
All righty. Ask for a motion and a second, please, to put this item on the floor. Alderman Kennedy, Alderman Brown with the second. And discussion. Alderman Rose.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just have a question around, first of all, I think this is a great idea. Anyone who's ever been around Route 83 and North Avenue in a storm understands what a terrible thing it is when those lights go out. I wanted to call attention and just make sure, I don't know if this is part of the agreement, that when these lights are replaced, since I've been contacted by folks, by residents on North Avenue about proper signage, that we ask IDOT to look and make sure are the signs there that indicate Route 64 from 83 to the expressway is not a preferred truck route. That we just make sure those signs are up and correct. That may or may not be part of the intergovernmental agreement. If it needs to be, that's one thing. But there has been some comments that perhaps those signs are not up where they should be, and it is an issue that is near and dear to the heart of everyone who lives on North Avenue, While trucks clearly have the right to be on North Avenue, most large trucks don't want to be on North Avenue. They understand there is a truck route, and we make sure that that signage is proper there. That's IDOT authority. We just want to make sure that that is done. And this would be, it seems to me, would be a great time to look at that and review that.
Thank you, Alderman Rose. Point well taken. Any other discussion?
Thank
Alderman
you.
Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's something we'll certainly look into. I believe the signage, there is signage there, but we'll just make sure it's adequate.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask Clerk Spencer to call the roll. Or Clerk Vanderwell. I apologize.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Bram,
Aye.
Gutenkopf,
Aye.
Hezza,
Aye.
Shea,
Aye.
Leader,
Aye.
Rose,
Aye.
Hipskin,
Aye.
York,
Aye.
Nybo,
Aye.
Healy,
Aye.
Morley,
Aye.
Mulliner,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. That report is passed. And on to our next item on the agenda, which is item number 8, committee reports. Item A, that is a report. I'd ask Clerk Vanderwell to read the report, please.
It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Affairs and Safety Committee that the city attorney be authorized to prepare the appropriate ordinance to provide the availability of a CBW liquor license for the sale of beer and wine for Walgreens. Signed by Alderman Patrick Wagner and Alderman Chris Nybo.
And at this time, it is for a motion and a second to put this report on the floor, please. Alderman Wagner, Alderman Nybo, and discussion. Yes, Alderman Pez.
Thank you. Just to explain why my signature was not originally on the report, during committee, I had some concerns and questions regarding the way the discussion went in the committee versus the report. It did not fully reflect the details of the recommendation. Since then, I spoke in detail to Chief Neubauer, who assured me that he visited the store, spoke in detail to the store manager, explained in depth what is expected regarding securing the liquor and the sales and all the details. I'm also aware this is the first step to which then the liquor commissioner, Mayor DeCiani, would be the person to award this. It's actually a privilege, it's not a right, and I'm very confident, and I know that you will absolutely enforce what Chief Neubauer has already laid out, and so therefore I am in full agreement with the report right now, so thank you.
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask Clerk Vanderwell to call the roll, please.
Wagner,
Aye.
Nybo,
Aye.
Gutenkopf,
Aye.
Hezza,
Aye.
Shea,
Aye.
Leader,
Aye.
Rose,
Aye.
Bram,
Aye.
Hipskin,
Aye.
York,
Aye.
Healy,
Aye.
Morley,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Mulliner,
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. That report does pass. And on to item number 9, reports and recommendations of appointed and elected officials. My first item that I'd like to make mention is we've got a variety of things that I'd like to bring up, but we've got a senior retreat that we are looking to do. In fact, if you look in your packet, I've got several dates that we've put out there, actually March 20th, to look at our senior housing and to look at all the different levels that we have, where we might have some needs. And I encourage all of our aldermen and the whole council, even our clerk and our treasurer, to attend. This is we have the largest senior base of population of seniors in DuPage County right here in our community. So it's really important, I think, that we all are aware of their needs and what we have, what we don't have. Do we need more affordable housing? Do we need less? These are all things I think it's important that we have an understanding of. And so I encourage the aldermen to be there for that, and it'd basically be a Saturday morning. So, but that's in your packet here. Alderman Hipskin.
In response to that, actually, a couple of years ago, Alderman Rose and her committee put together a comprehensive senior living plan, which expanded the zoning property, and it may be very helpful for all of us to look at that. I'm sure City Manager Borchert could get copies of that available to any of the elected officials who want to attend, and it's very helpful. It really is comprehensive and shows the different levels of senior living that we have and how expansive they are. It could be very helpful.
Very good, I appreciate that. And just so everybody knows, we're going to have a 10 o'clock tour at Greencastle, right here behind City Hall here. 10:40, senior home sharing on Van Buren. These are actually like home sharing, group home type scenarios. And then at 11:20, we'll be doing the tour of Lexington Square. So we're going to see a variety of different senior housing, which I think is neat. And I know my mom being a senior and in this town, I value it heavily. And we want to make sure, just like we're fighting for a lot of the things we do for the seniors, the taxi service, and we do a lot of things, Metropolitan Family Services, we fund them so that they can do in-home respite for caregivers and supporting not only the people that are sick and disabled, but also even their caregivers. So we do a lot, we value the seniors, and this is the, I think, a big step, especially for a lot of the new people like myself and a lot of our aldermen that are new, and even some of the current aldermen that have been here. I think it's important that we know what we have and possibly what we're missing and what we need to hopefully expand upon. So next on my little report here is a city council retreat. We have that coming up. There's 4 dates which are available. They're all Saturdays. And just so everybody in the audience knows, because this is a new council and new people working together, we've done a series of retreats to better know each other, to better understand how we should work together, have kind of a code of ethics, so that we have a good conductive board. The meetings are done orderly, and that's important. And I think they've been good for all of us so far to really participate in. So I encourage everyone to get back to us on those, whatever dates are available for you, and I would hope for 100% participation on this as well. I had the privilege of speaking at Community Bank of Elmhurst last week for the State of the City. Many of the aldermen were actually in attendance, and I appreciate the council for being there. I actually announced the team, and I think everybody felt more united than ever, and we should feel that way. So I thought overall it went well. We've got tough challenges ahead of us, but we're a community that steps up when times get tough, and we value our services and our community, and we're going to move forward. So I wanted to thank the aldermen that were able to make that and for participating. So, Alderman Hipskin.
One more comment on that. Yeah. The morning, about 10 o'clock that morning, I saw a sign driving through Elmhurst that said "Shop Elmhurst."
Absolutely.
And it was directly related to your speech that morning.
Yeah. If anybody came away with anything out of my State of the City, I think it's so important that we purchase here. Our biggest downside is sales tax, and sales tax from our cars, sales tax from our clothing, sales tax from the food we buy at the grocery store to the clothes we buy at the department stores. So I know I went out and I did my annual guys shopping thing, and I went to Kohl's and I went to Leonard's and I made my rounds. I do that once a year. Usually we're always thinking about our kids now, but made sure I kept my dollars here. And it's so important because 70% of the people in this town buy their cars outside of this town. And if we had 100% participation, or even a 70% participation, we probably wouldn't have been in the position we were in a month ago, having to deal with the shortfall that we're working with. So it's important that we shop local and patronize our local vendors. And again, we're going to be working with the Chamber, the Economic Development Commission, to put a plan together with that whole concept and work with our car dealers to really make this town a car mecca again. Mayor Bensonville's on board with it. Spoke with Mayor Soto already. He's in the same situation as us. So I think you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of communities working together. And but it all starts with their own personal checkbook and making sure we write those checks in this town. So. Also, I happened to be at an alumni function at York High School, and Terry Clark, who was actually recently inducted into the IHSA Sports Hall of Fame, was my wrestling coach at York. We got to see Terry the other day, it was a couple Saturdays ago, take on Lyons Township, which is always a tough match, and went down to the wire. But I'm so proud of Terry Clark. He was a JV coach when I was at York, Elmhurst College grad, Elmhurst College alum, and he is he broke his 300-win record, which is quite an accomplishment for a coach. And it's nice to have one of our local guys make it to that level. So kudos to Terry. And then lastly, and this was today, I happened to be in the attendance with some of our aldermen, and I'm sure they're going to speak as well about this, but I don't know ever, and I've been in this town since 1976, that we've ever had a bishop ordained from Elmhurst. And I was at the ordination of former Father Joe Siegel, who is now Bishop Siegel, and I've been at priests being ordained ceremonies. I met the Pope when I was 13 years old, and it was unbelievable. But this is right up there. What we saw today, I think, was right up there with probably one of the most amazing things my faith, our faith, many people's faiths up here, has ever seen. And to have one of our own from Elmhurst be ordained as a bishop, it was like a warm and fuzzy moment. Father Cardinal George was there in the audience and participated in the ceremony. And here's a guy that's fighting cancer, and he's up there, representing Chicago Archdiocese and representing the Christians and Catholics in this community. And to see one of our own pastor from Visitation Church be ordained bishop, it was a great moment. So I was honored and privileged to be the mayor there, representing Elmhurst. I think it's great for our community that we've got representation in Joliet, and I'm sure Alderman Wagner and Alderman Kennedy, who are both in attendance, will probably say a few things too. But that's my reports. It was a great day for Elmhurst, and God bless Bishop Siegel, and we wish him the best. Anybody else?
Ed, go ahead.
No, it was an unbelievable event. I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to see something like that for any faith, and we're extremely proud of him. I think there's a lot of great things that that are going on in the city of Elmhurst right now. From a campaign standpoint, there's a lot of things going on there, and there's to have a bishop selected is important in the first place, but to have it selected from your town and then let alone your parish is even more special, and he's a pretty special man. So I congratulate him, and he's got a lot of work to do, that's for sure, but he's a great guy to talk to if you get a chance. He's an unbelievable man, and I wish him all the best. So.
I totally agree. Father Siegel's a great guy, and he's just that. He's like one of us. He's a really good person, and it's just wonderful to see somebody recognized at the top of their field, be it in a business or civic or whatever. It's a great thing. So congratulations to him.
Alderman Brown.
Yes, thank you. Different topic, some house cleaning topics that I've had on my plate that I wanted to communicate. One, I want to give kudos to the Deputy City Clerk, Aaron Vanderwall, for pulling together a pending items list for not only myself, I made the request, but for everybody to view. So I'm hoping all the aldermen took a peek to see what the other committees are only doing on a week-to-week basis, but also what's upcoming and what's on their plate, which will eventually reach the dais here. There were a few items by myself taking a look that I have submitted that are not on there, so I'll be forwarding that to the city manager as well as the appropriate committee member. The other item that I wanted to kind of touch on, which is on our dais also in red, changing the minutes, I believe, was the amendment or the motion made 2 weeks ago in regards to the EEDC discussion that we had. I don't really want to revisit that discussion, but I just wanted to see, since the motion was to revisit it 2 weeks, which would be today, where are we in regards to that? If there's just a status report. Thank you.
City Manager Borchert.
I know that the request was to attach the updated resume of the individuals, and in that regard, it has been the past practice for a new appointment, certainly, that the resume is attached, but not necessarily a practice of a reappointment. These were reappointments, which is why the resume wasn't attached initially. The council asked that they be prepared and then attached, and the reason it hasn't been distributed is we haven't received it yet, so we weren't able to put it together for you. My understanding is that it is being prepared, and I think we have to start over at this point, so that'll be submitted to the mayor, and the mayor will then resubmit, as I understand it.
Just to follow up, for the city attorney, actually, since the motion gave a definite time frame of 2 weeks from today, is there anything that we need to do from a legal standpoint just to carry this forward?
If you, it's not on your agenda, so you really can't even deal with it. So if you just let a motion, under Robert's rules, if you let a motion to defer or table, if nobody moves to take it off the table, it will fall off, and it'll just come back whenever the mayor brings it back. So it'll just, the answer, the simple answer would have been, you don't need to do anything. And you'll start over, as the manager just said.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Alderman Kennedy.
Just one quick update. We had a meeting last week, again, of the joint City of Elmhurst Park District Group with City Manager Borchert, Mr. Grotzky, myself, Mr. Mulliner, and 2 folks on the board there. Just moving forward, we're meeting every 2 months now, just reviewing what our priorities are amongst ourselves, places that we can work together. And the group is coming along quite well, and we're going to move forward and invite the school board to have some representation going forward. So it's making progress, and we're happy with where things are going.
It's good to hear, Alderman. Very good. Excellent. Alderman Healy?
Just on the lighter side, and you mentioned, Mayor, the York wrestling victory over LT. I just want to point out that was nailed down by 5th Ward resident Jimmy Nudera, who's off to a great start at the 189-pound weight class, who also is up for Trib Local Athlete of the Month, I believe, and at last check he was in a neck-and-neck race with an athlete from another community, so I would ask that our community get on to triblocal.com and vote for Jimmy Nudera, a local York Duke. Thank you.
Thank you for that plug. We need those 5th Ward guys to move up. So and I'll tell you what, that was a great match. You know, we're down by 2 points, and it's like 28-26, and Nudera pins the guy, and we win by what, 5 or 4. So, but it came down to the last match, and we were down by 2. So it was great. So thank you, Alderman Mulliner.
Yeah, just a quick comment. The people in the 7th Ward experienced another power outage today. Not that typical. It's getting a little better in the 7th Ward. We are aware of the situation. The ComEd did contact the city immediately to let us know that there was a power outage. We followed up. We should have additional information very shortly as far as what happened. It's another one of these clear blue days, and there's no power, so we're always wondering. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that we have been meeting on a regular basis with ComEd, both the city administration as well as a number of the aldermen have been meeting with ComEd as well, trying to get this resolved. It has improved significantly from what it was a number of years ago, and as we look at the data, we're seeing much better performance from ComEd. They've done a number of things to improve things. We just need to get to the bottom of why this happened this time. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we are aware of it, and we have been meeting with ComEd.
Thank you, Alderman Mulliner, and appreciate the follow-up. And yes, I think they were a lot more responsive after several of our last meetings. I know aldermen from the 7th Ward, 5th Ward, myself, all attended those, and definitely made them aware that we are watching them like a hawk, and we want answers. So appreciate that. And it looks like we're getting results too. We're still having some little issues, but we'll stay on it. So, anybody else for reports from elected officials? Alderman Gutenkopf, do you have a hand up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want a last-minute reminder that tomorrow morning from 9 to 10:30 is coffee and conversation with First Ward Alderman Paula Pezza, and I'm taking February, and we're alternating months for the rest of the year. So First Ward residents are encouraged to come to Panera Bread tomorrow morning from 9 to 10:30 and talk about Elmhurst, and hopefully we can promote some Elmhurst businesses, especially First Ward businesses, and give people an opportunity to talk to us.
Very good. Well done. You buying? Just kidding. All righty. Anybody else? Okay. Item number 10, other business. Anybody for other business?
I just have an announcement to make, and I'm going to step forward on behalf of the Lutherans in this community. First of all, congratulations to you guys getting the bishop. That is quite an achievement. On this Sunday, Redeemer Lutheran Church is installing a new pastor. So we're excited to have Pastor Scott Stiegemeyer replacing Pastor Robert Fitzpatrick. Pastor Fitzpatrick will stay on for a few months to help in the transition, but we're very excited about getting some new leadership into the Redeemer Lutheran Church. So I just wanted to mention that too. So.
It's terrific, absolutely. And like any good American town, we support all of our faiths. And actually, one of the things that I wanted to mention too, and I wanted to do this soon, maybe Bishop Siegel's appointment kind of will push this even more for me. But I would like to invite each pastor from every church to our meeting and actually lead off our meeting with a prayer. And I think we should maybe even start that possibly at our next meeting. So I'd invite the Lutheran pastors, the Protestant pastors, all the different pastors from our different church. We'll alternate them. Maybe that'll be a job for our clerk, Vanderwall, to follow up. We'll get a list. And we've got a lot of parishes in this community, all great parishes that do a fantastic job. Actually, a lot of them are involved with the city and the different services that we offer too. So, but we are a community of faith. We hold our faith strong, and we all respect each other's faiths too. So that's why I invite everybody. So that'll be something I think we'll be starting here shortly. So wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. So, and we're doing God's work up here. So we should have a little prayer because Lord knows we need it. So Alderman Pezza.
This is probably under announcements, so.
Uh-huh.
No? Okay. I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate the York Dukes Marching Band. I had the opportunity to speak to the band director, Mr. Riddle, and it's a pretty cool thing. The Dukes Marching Band was chosen with 11 other high schools to participate. They performed at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, and he said it was a really great experience. We're very proud of the students. We're proud of the band directors. So I just wanted to congratulate them, and I know he said it was a great experience. They practiced for 2 3-hour sessions in the French Quarter, and they rehearsed with 1,300 other musicians, and then they had to go perform. So he said it was a great experience. They're very proud, and we're proud of the marching band. So
that's great.
Fun
Very
stuff.
nice. Absolutely. Anybody else? I know, City Manager Borchert, we have a big deal coming up Thursday at the Elmhurst Historical Museum. Would you like to make a mention on, it's a new exhibit, I believe, that's going to be debuted, and it's going to be Thursday at the museum? I don't, if you'd like to, done, okay. All are invited. I encourage, as we encouraged earlier, the council to attend and participate. So let's celebrate Elmhurst, and hopefully we'll see everybody here Thursday. I think it's at 5 o'clock, 5 to 7. Over at the Historical Museum. So, anybody else? Announcements? Okay. Alderman Shea, I see you leading. Got like anything to say, or you okay? Okay. No problem. And I'm used to being an auctioneer, so I'm used to calling on people. So, raising money for various things, nonprofits and whatnot. So, hearing no other announcements, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Morley, Alderman York, all in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. God bless everybody.